Hello, Mr. Def here with another World of Warships video. Today I'm in the Hindenburg, the tier 10 German cruiser, on the map Hotspot in the standard mode. Since this is standard mode, there are only two caps, one on each side of the map. As soon as one of these caps is changed to the opposite color, the match ends. Otherwise, reaching 1,000 points will also result in a win. Going forward here. On this map, multitude of ways to play. Hindenburg, I think, is actually quite excellent on this map because there are a decent amount of islands to use as well as open areas, and this just suits Hindenburg's playstyle in the greatest. And spotted. Unfortunately, Hindenburg doesn't really have all the best of concealment, so it is easily spotted quite often. And oh, there's a Montana behind there too. Gotta watch out for this. Luckily, the Montana wasn't shooting at me. Fortunately, Des Moines is. Okay, Hindenburg versus Des Moines. The firepower is roughly the same as long as all guns are in play on both sides of the ship, and it's not very pleasant to end up in a shootout between Des Moines and a Hindenburg because both sides will lose HP at the same rate, while also, yeah. If at all possible, you want to end up in a situation where it's like a 2 versus 1 or a 3 versus 1, or at least. Definitely, you want to have more firepower than they have. And Des Moines versus Hindenburg, it's basically the equal amount of firepower with roughly equal amount of HP. Des Moines showing its broadside to me. Probably doesn't realize. Oh, spotted. And not sure where he was aiming at, but here comes the punishment. One citadel hit. 14,000 damage. Now salvo. Almost 20,000 damage there. Three citadel hits. And now it's no longer fair. Now I have the advantage. He is also on fire. Unfortunately for me, and fortunately for him, Ogdenvoy saw that he was in trouble and gave him friendly smoke. A good play by the Ogdenvoy there. Unfortunately, it's a bit late. Does radar need a serious debuff? Let's see. Well, you could just play a bit smarter one around radar, really. You know the radar ranges are fixed, so you just have to remember which ships have them, and it's pretty easy. It's either American ships, or American cruisers, Missouri, or Soviet cruisers, and Royal Navy cruisers. This is very, very simple. And after that, you just gotta go to the World of Warships official wiki and see what the ranges on them are. It's actually it's listed quite clearly, and the duration is also listed, so you just have to pay attention. It is not as difficult as it might seem. It does require quite a bit of memorization, though. However, playing destroyers and cruisers, or actually any ship really, excellently requires that you memorize quite a few things, or at least have a spreadsheet handy of various concealment values, or like how strong the consumables are. You know, it's in the Sun Tzu's Art of War. Know yourself and know the enemy, and you should never lose, or something like that. So knowledge is quite important. It's just angled, should be okay. until you're not, because reasons. Not sure why that landed a citadel, because it shouldn't have, but it did, so. Well, gotta live with it. Hindenburg has 30 millimeters of armor, so technically it should just bounce 406 millimeter shells, no problem, until it doesn't. And the 30 millimeter section is between all 4 turrets, so from front to back, from the first turret to the 4th turret, there is 30 millimeter plating on the deck and on the sides, and provided a good angle, you should just absolutely deflect 406 millimeter and 420 millimeter shells. What you can't deflect are the 16-inch shells from Yamato and that new one, the Monarch Royal Navy cruiser or Royal Navy battleship. Those will overmatch and cause massive damage. Now, next up, Ismo. It's a 3 versus 1, soon to be a 4 versus 1, but that Ogdenboy has provided even more smoke for that for the Ismo. How annoying! Is it enough to save the Ismo though? That's the question. Incoming torps from the Ogdenboy or friendly Ogdenboy. Not a good position to fire it from. It's fired from behind friendly, so it's very risky. And since we can't see the Ismo, she'll focus fire on the Des Moines. Honestly, the Des Moines has more firepower than the Ismo, so Des Moines is a higher priority target. Anything that can cause massive damage over a certain amount of time is a high priority target. So that's basically all the tier 10 cruisers, really. That's why everybody shoots cruisers when it's not only because they're squishy, it's because tier 10 cruisers have massive damage potential, damage output potential. And that Des Moines is gone. Good. Ismo sunk as well. Probably from the torpedoes. Kutuzov on the right now. Let's see how this goes. I'm hidden thanks to the Ogdenboy smoke. We'll see how long this works. Kutuzov shot off its torpedoes already, and oh, it's spotted. I wonder if I can sink it in time. No, it's close. Oh, that was close. Could have saved the cab from ramming, but he wanted a ram, so no reason not to let him do that. Montana looking at me, very scary position. If I have to maintain a precise angle, unless he shoots HE. In the case of Montana shooting HE, it's perfectly fine, I think. Hindenburg, if it angles correctly, will have enough armor to deflect a majority of those shells, unless the player knows that this nose section is only 27 millimeters, and if you shoot through here, it's pretty much a guaranteed citadel or massive damage. So as long as the shells hit their mark. Playing Gizmo, the shells barely hit their mark. It's very, very annoying. Ogdenboy had AP loaded for the Baltimore, but it wasn't quite to be. Luckily, that still seems to have caused quite a bit of damage to the Ogdenboy. Montana charging in from the north. Friendly Montana moving up. Baltimore stands no chance, I think, hopefully. Just in case. Okay, now Hydro is on cooldown. And luckily, these torps went through the front, or totally missed me. And seeing as that was a triple set. The enemy Ognivoy still has his stock A hull, which means he doesn't have the quintuple launchers that have a lot more damage potential than just triples. Spotted by something. Almost at the same time, roughly. Oh, poor Ognivoy. Took out one of his turrets. Ready to go. Montana inside here. Should be an easy... Well, he can still turn. I just have to maintain angle, and I should be okay. This is a decent angle that I have set up here. Most of my broadside seems to be exposed until it's not. And those torps land home. 8 out of 8. Fortunately, Montana doesn't have as much HP as I would like for an 8 out of 8. Perfect landing here. And onto the result screens. 244,730 damage and 10 Citadel hits, Confederate high caliber. Almost a Kraken, but what do you know? Well, you get what you get. Credits, or sorry, XP earnings is 2,860, top of the pile. Surprisingly enough, there are more than 2 people with more than 2,000, or there's that 2 people with more than 2,000 XP. Which I think is quite amazing. And then on to the damage screen. Resultant damage is 63,000 damage from HE shells and 94,000 damage from AP shells. It's a surprising amount of damage from the AP shells, or not so surprising considering the amount of broadside that was exposed, but what was surprising was the amount of broadside that was exposed. And I was able to capitalize on it. Torpedoes, 8 launched, 6 hit, 44,000 damage. Stunning amount of damage from, and also fire damage. All in all, a stunning amount of damage. And damage sustained, 46,000 damage sustained, mostly from arm-piercing shells, especially that mysterious Citadel hit, or it might have been a Citadel hit, or it might have been just multiple penetrations. Hard to say, but it happens. Such is the life of the cruiser. And credits and XP, well, not much to look at here, really. Alright, thanks for watching, see you next time, bye-bye.